Things to do today. Breathe in, breathe out. Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha once said, "I have always believed, and I still believe, that whatever good or bad fortune may come our way, we can always give it meaning and transform it into something of value." So this is my story. The story of where I tell you all about how I've had to experience so much stupidity, so many vices, so much error, so much nausea, disillusionment, and sorrow, just in order to become a child again and begin anew. I had to experience despair. I had to sink to the greatest mental depths to thoughts of suicide, just in order to experience grace. But this is also the story of how all the voices, all the goals, all the yearnings, all the sorrows, all the pleasures, all the good and evil, all of them together were my world. All of them together were the stream of events, the music of my life. But I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to preach to you about good and evil and the things that self-help books teach you how to deal with. I'm here to tell you about how to live, how to truly live, so that this moment, the one that brings you the most misery, will just be another story someday, so that today will be the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. The day I met reality was the day I also lost my innocence and gave up my beautiful view of the world. So that was my life. And I want you to know that during this time period, I was both happy and sad, and I'm still trying to figure out how that could have been. Then I met embarrassment and doubt. It's easy to forget how full the world is of people, full to bursting, and each of them imaginable and consistently misimagined. I guess that's why the world forgot about me for a time, and why the people living on this world thought it was okay. During school, I didn't do well, academically or socially, and it took me a long time after I graduated to realize that life is a series of pulls back and forth. You want to do one thing, but you are bound to do something else. Something hurts you, yet you know it shouldn't. You take certain things for granted, even when you know you should never take anything for granted. And I learned that so many people walk around with a meaningless life. They seem half asleep, even when they're busy doing things they think are important. Then I met a boy. This boy I met loved me, and I loved him. I thought we were going to be with each other forever. But as most high school relationships go, we began to fight, and he didn't respect me as his girlfriend or even as a human being. So I told myself, I will no longer allow anyone to manipulate my mind to control my life in the name of love. But as I said this, something dark was already watching, ready to take me while in a vulnerable place. And this breakup was the perfect timing. And when I say it wanted to take me, I mean it wanted to slowly devour me until I was even more of a shell than I already was. I didn't want to wake up. I was having a much better time asleep, and that's really sad. It was almost like a reverse nightmare. Like, you know, when you wake up from a nightmare, you're so relieved, but this time I woke up into one. My life. So you just keep quiet. And I did. For a very long time, actually, until I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to feel something. But throughout this entire experience, there was a question in the back of my mind. If sinners were so unhappy, why would they prefer their suffering? But now I knew why. Without my wounds, who was I? So I did something about it. I needed to feel something. I learned that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And most importantly, life can't be cured, but it can be managed. Now, having lived half of my life, I have finally concluded, maybe that's what life is about. There's a lot of despair, but also that one odd moment of beauty, where time is no longer the same, and life has meaning, and we grown-ups know what it is a universal lie that everyone is supposed to believe. Once you become an adult and you realize that's not true, it's too late. But nonetheless, I have survived. I am here, confused, screwed up, but here. Maybe who we are isn't so much about what we do, but rather what we're capable of when we least expect it. And the ironic thing about life is that extraordinary things are always hiding in the places people never think to look. And now, I'm free. So now I challenge you. I challenge you to live and learn from your demons, to tame them and teach others how to do the same, because those who have a why to live can bear almost any how.